Well, absolutely, Sambhav. Thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. Meanwhile, we now have updates from Guwahati at Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloi International Airport. IndiGo passengers continue to be stranded amid flight disruptions and cancellations. So the crisis is still ongoing in Guwahati, as we are just now learning. Nibir Deka is joining us to provide us with more updates. Nibir, take us through the current situation in Assam. We are learning that many IndiGo passengers continue to be stranded over there. Well, we'll be joined shortly by Nibir, but those are the details that we're picking up from Assam, and you can see those visuals from Assam on your screens as well. IndiGo passengers continue to be stranded at the Guwahati airport despite IndiGo's claims that its operations are now functioning as normal. However, we are seeing that this flight crisis is still continuing. As we'd earlier learned, over 400 flights nationwide were cancelled by IndiGo today as well, and that disruption is being witnessed in Assam. Guwahati airport passengers continue to be stranded. There are still disruptions and cancellations that have been reported. Nibir is back with us. Nibir, take us through the current situation in Assam. We are learning that there is still quite some disruption that the Guwahati airport is facing.
Well, the operations of IndiGo has resumed. However, some of the flights are yet to go on, and as due to delay, some of the passengers are being stranded at the Guwahati airport. However, the flights are going on time. They have resumed operations. Still, some of the flights are getting delayed, and so we get to know that the timing of flights are being rescheduled and properly it's been conducted. However, some of them not the message they come to the port and still waiting for their departure.
Well, Nibir, thank you for joining us with those updates. And some more breaking updates coming in. According to a Civil Aviation Ministry official who reportedly conducted a surprise inspection at the Mumbai airport, he said that major affected sectors of the flight delays domestically are Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, Kochi, Goa and Lucknow. So major airports are some of the worst affected by the ongoing crisis. Brian Thomas is joining us live from Delhi airport. Brian, take us through this statement by this aviation ministry official who conducted surprise checks in Mumbai, and he has listed out some of the worst affected airports that also includes Delhi.
Well, yes, clearly there has been a surprise inspection, surprise checking that has been done by the airport ministry itself, and clearly there have been many lapses. They are checking the proper arrangements that has been made, what problem the passengers are facing, if there are any problems itself. The checking has been done in Mumbai, and they found out that there are many airports that are facing disruptions majorly. Yesterday, yes, there were 422 cancellations by IndiGo itself, but today, if we talk about today, the ground situation looks better, because on ground when we are here from 8 AM onwards to show you the ground reality, the situation looks fairer, further and better itself. What we are showing you is the fact that this is the screen where the flight departures, arrivals are being scheduled itself, what flights are delayed, what flights are cancelled, and when you see IndiGo in that blue, in the blue box, you can understand that all of the IndiGo flights are showing check-in are open. So there are hardly any cancellations or delays from IndiGo side. The Bengaluru flight is also showing a final call. Only one such airline what we are showing you is cancelled itself. The SpiceJet, 2 SpiceJet flights are delayed as of now, Mumbai and Udaipur. Apart from that, IndiGo flights, if IndiGo is concerned, then yes, clearly the situation looks better. What you are seeing, it is a very, again, a rare sight. What we are showing you, IndiGo check-in counters, we were there from day one till yesterday. It was filled with people. It was chaotic. It had multiple number of people jamming up there to ask for refunds, to ask for any kind of help. But what you see today is a rare sight, the fact that there are hardly anyone. There is just one person there. So clearly this visual itself speaks volumes, and it is a very rare sight. For the past 7 days, for the past 6 days, we have been reporting from ground zero to show you the ground reality. But again, when we are on ground today, to show you the situation here, the situation, yes, looks better. The situation, the people, the passengers that were facing major disruptions, major problems are getting some respite here, because now the people are actually going to the airport to actually fly and not to wait and not to be stranded here for hours and hours without getting a proper response. So everyone, all the passengers who are flying from IndiGo via IndiGo are actually inside the airport waiting for the check-in, waiting for the terminal to fly from one destination to another. Yes.
Well, Brian, stay on with us. We're tracking some more breaking news that is coming in. Now, in some further updates, we're learning that airports are informing passengers about flight cancellations 6 hours in advance so that they don't have to come to the airport. Several Civil Aviation Ministry officials also conducted surprise inspections at some airports across the country. Brian Thomas continues to be with us. Brian, of course, what we're looking at over here is steps are being taken by the government to ensure that passengers don't face more difficulties, and several surprise checks have in fact taken place. Take us through the details of what exactly it is that the ministry is currently doing in order to deal with this crisis.
Well, clearly, like we've been mentioning, like I've been reporting from ground, speaking about the efforts that the government is taking, the reduction of 10% of their fleet operations, and also now IndiGo stabilizing their operations itself. And clearly the airport authorities are also issuing a proper directive that if there is any cancellation or delays, they are informing the passengers 6 hours prior. Now, if suppose you talk about SpiceJet that is delayed, 2 SpiceJet flight is delayed, now the airport authorities and one Akasa Air flight is delayed. So what the airport authority are doing, they are informing the passengers 6 hours prior so that they don't have to come to the airport and wait for it. So clearly the airport authorities are taking their own time to ensure that people are not helpless and people get their time gets managed somehow, and they don't feel stressed out or they don't feel anxious the fact that they've come here and they're waiting for hours and hours without getting a proper response. So clearly now when we are on ground to report what the situation is, the situation of IndiGo looks better, and the airport authority are also taking all efforts to ensure that the people are not stranded or the people are not facing heavy difficulties or problems that they were facing for the past 6 days or 7 days per se. Yes.
Well, of course, Brian, and since you're currently at the Delhi airport, we're of course reporting live from the ground. Have you been able to talk to some people, get some reactions of some of the passengers? Because as you said, operations seem to be normalizing today.
Well, Malvika, like I reported before, what we have tried to speak to the passengers, they are not from IndiGo because they are inside the airport for checkings itself. But what we can show you the fact that the inside of the airport, what the visuals we were showing, the luggage area itself clearly, the fact that it was filled with luggage, heavy luggages itself. They were filled with luggages, but what today there is not even a single luggage here because they've all gone back to their respective personals. And again, talking about the people, I've been mentioning the fact that yes, there are no people. We try to speak to them, but they were from different airlines for waiting for different departures or arrivals per se. But again, IndiGo ones, all the IndiGo flights have been scheduled for today, and they are running on time as for what we are showing you. Also, what the display is also showing, and clearly this is the situation that we are reporting from Delhi IGA Terminal 1 of the airport. Yes.
Well, stay on with us, Brian. In some more updates, we are learning that at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi, where IndiGo passengers are reportedly, they continue to be stranded amid flight disruptions and cancellations. Well, Brian, however, as you said, you know, the situation on the ground seems somewhat normal today. There is no disruptions, no cancellations so far in Delhi. However, 400 flights nationwide have been cancelled, but in Delhi, what you're telling us is there are no cancellations of IndiGo today.
Well, yes, if we are reporting from Delhi, what we can show you the visuals from the display board that shows your proper timings of departures, your flight number, your flight details and everything, the gate numbers and all of that. So when you see these visuals, you understand the fact that from ground zero, there are hardly any cancellations from IndiGo flight. There are one, two from Akasa Air, SpiceJet and other airlines. But if we talk about IndiGo, you see these are check-in is getting the check-in gates are all from IndiGo to Goa. The check-in is closed. There is one for Bangalore that is gate is closed. So clearly they are all flying. Just Jodhpur one has a final call itself. So when you talk about the blue ones, the IndiGo ones, what you can see, and I'll request my camera person Himanshu just span around and show the fact that this looks normal itself. The IndiGo ones are showing the final calls, and all the scheduled flights for IndiGo are actually departing. One Mumbai has also already been departed itself, which was a 10 a.m. flight that was scheduled for 10 a.m. So that has also departed itself. So right now what we are showing you, it is running on time itself. Again, I'll request my camera person to just show the 10 a.m. flight has departed to Mumbai. So yes, clearly on ground when we are here reporting the real story, the real incidents, yes, clearly the situation looks better as of now.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us with all of those updates live.